What what is project separation?
Well, Project Separation, at its core, is the political ideology of the Nation of Islam. And its number one goal is to develop strategy to achieve point number four of what the Muslims want, which is we want our people whose parents or grandparents were descendants of slaves to be allowed to establish their own separate state of territory, a separate state of territory of their own.
Now, it's been stated that Black people in America are separating and creating their own independent government is a pipe dream. Can you speak to those who think that this is just a pipe dream and we will not be able to successfully separate?
Uh, yeah, I absolutely could. I mean, I would encourage those who think that to, if they're calling that separation a pipe dream, try to justify integration, because I think current events have shown and our past history have shown that that's absolutely been a nightmare. And if we do a very surface level analysis of the history of this nation and how this nation was established and came into being, we'll see that separation is not only attainable and achievable, but in certain cases, and I will argue that in our case, it is absolutely the best and only solution. Anyone who, takes a look at the Declaration of Independence, where Thomas Jefferson says that when in the course of human events it becomes necessary for people to dissolve the political bands which have connected them with another and to assume among the powers of the earth the separate and equal station which the laws of nature and nature's God entitles them. So I think that that in and of itself, anyone who has that stance that it's a pipe dream, the argument that Thomas Jefferson gave is a sufficient enough argument.
Now, some of us have a very surface level idea of or understanding of the difference between separation and integration. Can you speak to the goal and provide some points for both of those terms?
Absolutely. So the goal really for separation, as was said in point number four of what the Muslims believe, is for us to be allowed to establish a separate state of territory of our own. And essentially, what that means is self-governance. And a lot of times when you think of separation, we tend to have a surface level understanding of it as, beautiful Black communities where we own businesses, where we work, where we have beautiful homes, where our communities are not ridden by crime and violence, which is good. However, the goal or the mission of Master Father Muhammad when he came and raised the Honorable Elijah Muhammad was for us to establish a nation of our own in which we can govern ourselves. And the Declaration of Independence goes on further and talks about that governments are established to provide certain unalienable rights to the people that they have been given consent by to govern. But whenever those governments don't hold up to their end of the bargain, which is to provide those unalienable rights, life, liberty, the pursuit of happiness, then it's the duty of the governed to abolish those governments and to set up their own government in which they can secure for themselves those rights. So what we want our people to understand is that integration, the trick of it, as the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said in point number 9, is just that, it's hypocritical. Because the government of the United States of America does not intend to give us those unalienable rights, except it does not conflict with their position, which is a philosophy that white people will dominate all darker peoples of the earth. That's both domestic and internationally. So the duty is on us. The responsibility is on us to reject that ideology of integration, which Honorable Elijah Muhammad called as hypocritical, and to accept his best and only solution for us.
Now, for integration, some of the things that we've noticed, as we've recently seen, that has not been the best for us. Can you speak to some of the things that you have seen over, I guess, since the civil rights movement that have been to our detriment in regard to integration?
Absolutely. Number one, I would say from an economic standpoint, which is really the only thing that was integrated upon the passing of the Civil Rights Bill. We've been allowed now to spend our money with Caucasians, which they don't reciprocate. We tend to take our finance, what we build or what we earn working in their corporations and their businesses, and whatever meager needs means we can take from their society and invest all of that right back into their society. So the dollar only circulates, I think they said, 6 hours in the Black community, which is far less than any other demographic of people just in this country. So when you think about what we've suffered under integration, economically, it completely castrated us as a people from a financial economic base. And then another one I would say, with me being a police officer, I've been able to see in our societies where we have allowed for others to police us, and by others I mean white males, to police our communities, and not being men and women and standing up and policing our own communities. We've been dissatisfied with the treatment that we've received from these particular groups that we allow to come in and police us.
Mm. Now, we've seen, and every year we have tons of them, town hall forums. What has been the major focus of these town hall forums, and what has been the community response?
Yes, ma'am. The major focus of these town hall forums was for us to present this ideology to our people. We wanted our people to have a chance to take a look at point number 4 of what the Muslims want and point number 9 of what the Muslims believe, and make a judgment for themselves. And after evaluating that and considering that and taking all the facts into consideration, to make a decision. But we've now since transcended that phase, and the support that we have gotten and the response that we have gotten has been overwhelming, that our people are definitely ready due to what we've seen in the past and definitely what we've seen in current events. I think that the overwhelming consensus of our people is that the only way we're going to attain true freedom is if we as men and women stand up as free men and women and take our own future into our own hands.
Mm. Now, Project Separation, can anyone support it?
Absolutely. Absolutely. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad has taught us that the fulfillment of the promise to Abraham is the Black man and woman in America. So our divine birthright is to assist in this project so that Allah can take us from being a landless, nameless, selfless people in America that the enemy has destroyed, and produce for us or bring into reality a nation where we will be our own nation, and then from there make his presence known to the world. So as Black men and women in America, as the Honorable Elijah Muhammad teaches us, come on, that's what we're looking for, because now the talk of if we should consider this is over. We're now calling for the registered and unregistered members of the Nation of Islam to assist us in actualizing point number 4 in reality.
And finally, how do we get in contact with you or anyone to support Project Separation?
Yes, ma'am. What you can do is go to www.projectseparation.com. And I would encourage you, the first thing to do is to sign the petition, but then play with the site, go over the site, look at it. We have in the site a section of the 9 ministries where wherever you fit, whatever your profession is, whether it be medical, whether it be law, whether it be construction, like our brother Dave, whether it be financial, because a nation encompasses all of those sciences. So we encourage the family that comes to the site, check it out, and then submit what you do, put in what you do, so that we can develop an intellectual resource bank, so that as we move forward with this, we'll be able to draw from that resource bank when this time as we come to build.
Right. Thank you, Brother Cartier X, for joining us and speaking to us about project separation.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you for having me.
Yes, sir. Thank you for joining us today and tuning into National Network View News. Please share your thoughts with us in the comment section below. Follow us on social media at NNV News, and please subscribe to our YouTube channel, NNV News. This is Rosalind Parks for National Network View News. Good night.
Be a part of the force that powers truth in journalism. Go to nnvnews.com/donate.